take my life. Lord, I just want to die. I'm no better than my ancestors. If depression strikes po, we can, and we always forget the good things that have happened to us. If depression strikes, nakakalimutan na natin lahat ng nagmamahal sa atin. If depression strikes, we say, I am no better than anyone else. When depression strikes, we tend to give up and not see anything good. Let's talk about depression. We know that many have died because of it. We know that many people are suffering because of it. But what is depression? And sino yung mga nade-depress? Are we depressed? Do we know someone that is depressed? If that is the case, this video is for you. If you know someone that is going through it, kindly share this video and this may help them. I just want to talk about a person that has gone through depression. A mighty man of God. Someone na hindi mo i-expect that would go through that phase. His name is Elijah. Let me show you how powerful God is in the life of Elijah. Let me tell you some of the miracles that he did. In 1 Kings chapter 17 verse 1, it says, As the Lord, the God of Israel lives, whom I serve, there will be neither dew nor rain in the next few years except at my word. Isn't that amazing? A powerful man actually is saying in this verse na hindi pwedeng umulan except at my word. Do you know a person that can change the weather? No, we can always ask, sana walang bagyo, sana walang ulan. But we can never change the weather. But because of the power of God in Elijah's life, he was able to say na walang ulan or walang ambon as long as I don't say it. Do you know what happened? For 3.5 years, there was neither dew nor rain. Second miracle po tayo. Elijah was fed by the ravens. 17 verse 2 says, Then the word of the Lord came to Elijah, Leave here, turn eastward and hide in Kerith-Revan, east of Jordan. You will drink from the brook, and I have directed the ravens to supply you with food there. The Lord said, I will direct the ravens. Can you imagine that? If you know the ravens, on Filipino, uwak, you would know that they are not those that are fond of sharing. Hindi sila mahilig mag-share. As a matter of fact, if they would see food or meat, mag-aagawan pa sila. But the Lord has directed the ravens to feed Elijah. Third miracle. This one's amazing. Chapter 17, verse 10 says, So he went to Zarephath. When he came to the town gate, a widow was gathering sticks. He called to her and asked, Would you bring me a little water in a jar so I may have a drink? As she was going to get it, he called, And bring me, please, a piece of bread. Verse 12, As surely as the Lord your God lives, she replied, I don't have any bread, only a handful of flour in a jar and a little olive oil in a jug. I am gathering a few sticks to take home and make a meal for myself and my son, that we may eat it and die. So that we may eat it and die. Do you know what is happening here? There was an old widow na nagagather po ng wood stick so that she may cook their last meal. But the Lord said to Elijah, Go ahead to Zarephath and you will meet a widow that will feed you. Pero pagdating doon, this widow was actually gathering the fire sticks that she could use for their last meal. Wala na po silang makain. They had nothing left. But Elijah eventually said to the woman, Woman, can you please bring me water? At hindi lang water, can you bring me bread? And the woman said to Elijah, Wala na po kaming natitira. As a matter of fact, this is our last meal. Wala na po. And Elijah said, I understand. Go ahead. Do whatever you're planning to do. Cook your last meal. But before that, bring me water and give me bread. The woman did it. She obeyed what Elijah said. You know what happened? Sabi ni Elijah, as long the jar of flour will not be used up, and the jug of oil will not run dry until the day of the Lord sends rain on the land. The jar of flour and the jug of oil ay hindi po naubusan for 3.5 years. That is how faithful God is in Elijah and this woman and her son. So now it's safe to say that God has really been moving in the life of Elijah. He was a very important man. He was a very powerful prophet. But let's jump to chapter 19 of 1 Kings. Verse 2 says, So Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah to say, May the gods deal with me, be it ever so severely, if by this time tomorrow I do not make your life like that one of them. Verse 3, Elijah was afraid and ran for his life. When he came to Beersheba in Judah, he left his servant there, while he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness. He came to a broom bush, sat down under it, and prayed that he might die. I've had enough, Lord, he said. Take my life. I am no better than my ancestors. Then he lay down under the bush and fell asleep. Can you imagine this? A powerful man, the man that was able to stop the weather, the man that was fed by the ravens, the man that gave flour and oil endlessly to a widow that were dying with her son, and the man who revived a dead kid is now afraid and depressed. He was not just afraid. You know what he said? Lord, I have had enough. Take my life. I am no better than my ancestors. What am I saying? What I'm saying po is even the most powerful prophet can get depressed. Even a prophet, a man of God who has been doing miracles after miracles after miracles can get depressed and be defeated and say, Lord, I've had enough. Lord, take my life. Lord, I just want to die. I'm no better than my ancestors. If depression strikes po, we can, and we always forget the good things that have happened to us. If depression strikes, nakakalimutan na natin lahat ng nagmamahal sa atin. If depression strikes, we say, I am no better than anyone else. When depression strikes, we tend to give up and not see anything good. But here's what I want us to see. In verse 5 says, All at once an angel touched him and said, Get up and eat. He looked around, and there by his head was some bread baked over hot coals and a jar of water. He ate and drank and then lay down again. What is the meaning of this? When he was tired, he was depressed and just wanted to die, God sent him an angel. At hindi lang siya kinausap ng angel. Pinagluto pa siya ng bread over hot coals. Talagang mainit pa yung tinapay, and he also had water with it. It actually means that God knows our needs. We may be depressed, we may be struggling, but remember this, God knows what you need. Then the next verse actually says, Elijah, after eating, slept again. Yes, binigay ni Lord yung pangangailangan niya, but because he was depressed after eating and drinking the water, He just went back to sleep and said to himself, I just want to die. But you know what happened next, which amazes me even more? The angel of the Lord came back, gave him another batch of food, and asked him to eat again. What does this mean? Yes, there are times that after God has given us our needs, we still go back to get being depressed. We still go back to surrendering to whatever we're facing. But you know what is amazing? God never gave up on Elijah, and God would never, ever give up on you. Friends, if you are going through something right now, if you are going through depression, if you are going through a phase na feeling mo wala nang nakakaintindi sa'yo, if you're going through a phase na feeling mo walang nagmamahal sa'yo, listen to this. God knows your needs. God knows your situations. God knows where you are. God knows who you are. God knows you by name. He knows everything about you, and He will never, ever give up on you. And what I'm asking you to do is never give up on yourself. Look around you. Ang daming nagmamahal sa'yo. If you want to stop depression, depend on someone that really cares for you, and that is God. Thank you. Have a good day.